So, will AI take your job? I mean, that question is absolutely everywhere right now, isn't it? It's echoing through every single industry, from software development to marketing. And there's just this storm of hype, of fear, and some really bold predictions. So today we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to look at the actual evidence and separate the Wall Street hype from the on-the-ground reality of what AI means for your career.
Okay, let's just dive right in, because this is the big one, right? This is the core anxiety. You see the headlines about layoffs, you hear CEOs talking nonstop about efficiency, and you see billions with a B of dollars just flooding into AI startups. The story seems pretty simple. Machines are getting smarter and our jobs are on the chopping block. But is it really that straightforward? Let's dig in.
You know, to really understand the hype, you just have to follow the money. A huge part of this whole story is being driven by this relentless, almost frantic push for efficiency and boosting that stock price. Tech companies, well, they're painting themselves as these world-changing visionaries to get that sweet, sweet venture capital. And what's an easy way to make investors happy? Talk about cutting labor costs. So there's this powerful incentive to push the AI replaces humans narrative, no matter what the tech can actually do today.
And all of this has created what a lot of people are now calling an AI bubble. The core belief is that AI is just going to wipe out huge parts of the workforce, especially those entry-level roles like junior developers. Billions are being bet on this idea, and it's leading some people to draw some pretty scary parallels to the dot-com bubble back in the late 90s. Now, it's a compelling story for sure, but what happens when all that hype smacks right into reality?
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. Just as that hype was reaching a fever pitch, a really powerful voice from deep inside the tech world came out and basically threw a giant bucket of ice water on that whole idea.
I mean, just look at this quote. What's so amazing is the sheer bluntness of it. This is Matt Garman, the guy who runs AWS, Amazon's massive multi-billion-dollar cloud business. He's not mincing words. He's not talking about synergy or disruption. He's just calling the idea of replacing your junior talent with AI flat out dumb. So why is a guy in his position so confident about that?
Well, he breaks it down into three incredibly simple, powerful points. First off, your junior employees, they're your least expensive people. You save almost nothing by firing them. Second, they are often the most fired up and engaged people when it comes to using new AI tools. And third, and honestly, this is the killer argument, if you stop hiring and training junior people today, who is going to be your senior talent in 10 years? You're basically selling out your company's future for pocket change.
And you know what? It is not just the top executives saying this. The software developers, the folks who are actually in the trenches using these AI coding tools every single day, they are pushing back on this replacement idea even harder.
For so many developers, AI isn't a replacement for their brain, it's more like Google on steroids. Yeah, it's a powerful tool for looking stuff up and spitting out boilerplate code, but it doesn't get the context. It doesn't understand the business logic or the long-term vision of a project. It literally can't think.
And this right here is such a critical point. Someone might say, oh, an AI can write code as well as a junior dev. But what they miss is that it's a junior you have to babysit all day long. A human junior learns from their mistakes. You correct them once, they get better. An LLM? It'll make the same mistake over and over and over unless you prompt it perfectly every single time.
And this just illustrates the fundamental difference so brilliantly. A human junior is an investment. They learn, they grow, they become accountable for their work, and eventually they become the senior leaders of your company. An AI is a tool. A powerful tool, sure, but it's static. It has zero accountability, and it needs a skilled human operator to have any real effect.
Okay, so if the whole robot apocalypse isn't happening, then what is AI actually doing to the job market? What does the data say? Let's forget the hype for a minute and just look at the hard numbers. The first thing to really wrap your head around is that we are seeing a massive shift, not a collapse. The World Economic Forum is predicting a net gain of 12 million jobs globally by 2025. Yeah, old jobs that are all about routine tasks, they're on the decline. But all these new roles in data analysis, AI specialization, and creative problem solving, they're absolutely booming. And here is the real kicker. Far from killing jobs and crushing wages, AI is creating this huge financial reason to learn new skills. A recent analysis found that roles needing AI skills now command an average salary premium of 56%. Just let that sink in. That is more than a 50% pay bump, and it's up from just 25% the year before, which just shows you how fast this demand is accelerating.
And these benefits aren't just for individuals. They scale up to entire companies.
Businesses that jump on the AI train early are seeing their productivity and their profits grow nearly 4 times faster than companies that are lagging behind. This is creating a massive competitive gap. AI isn't a job killer, it's a productivity multiplier, and it's separating the winners from the losers in this new economy.
And listen, this isn't just one study. A huge meta-analysis that looked at 52 different academic papers came to a really clear conclusion. The widespread fear about automation destroying wages and jobs, it just hasn't happened. The global average effect on wages is, and I'm quoting here, practically zero. The data is clear. Instead of wrecking the job market, AI is augmenting us, it's making us better, and it's shifting the types of jobs that are available.
This quote just perfectly captures the reality check that is happening as we speak. You had some companies that jumped on the hype train. They laid people off, and they tried to just plug in AI instead. And what's happening now? Many of them are quietly hiring people back. Why? Because they found out that an AI doesn't guarantee quality, and that fixing an AI's mistakes can be way more expensive than just having a human do the job right the first time.
So, what does all this mean? Where does this leave us? It means the whole narrative is changing. It's not about humans versus machines anymore. It's about a new, way more powerful collaboration. We are right in the middle of what you could call a great skill shift. That old fear of being replaced is giving way to this massive opportunity for augmentation. The economic value is moving away from the boring routine tasks and toward the uniquely human skills: creativity, strategic thinking, complex problem solving. So this is your game plan. Start figuring out the repetitive parts of your job and let AI tools handle them. That's what frees you up to focus on what you do best: making judgment calls, innovating, and leading. Constant learning isn't just a good idea anymore, it's the new normal.
And that brings us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. The real competitive threat to you isn't the technology itself. It is the other people in your field who are learning how to use that technology to become faster, smarter, and way more effective at their jobs.
So the whole conversation just has to change. The question isn't, will a machine take my job anymore? The real question, the one we all need to be asking ourselves is, how am I going to use these incredible new tools to augment my own skills, to offload the boring stuff, and to double down on the high-value work that only a human can do? Because that is where the future of work is really headed.